To read SurveyMonkey data, the first thing that you're going to want to do is go to the SurveyMonkey website. So you can get there from my technology presentation homepage by clicking this link and then clicking login. So once you get to basically the SurveyMonkey homepage, which is called your dashboard, you'll see that all of your surveys are listed here, and all you have to do is hover over the survey of your choosing, and once you do, you'll see these options pop up, and you'll click on Analyze Results. So once we get to the results page of the survey, we have a couple options that we can choose in order to look at the data. So the first is the question summary. So this just gives you a summary of each question. So I actually went ahead and I answered the survey 4 different times. You actually have to, if you want to self-answer a survey to show someone how to use it, every single time you go to type in the link, you have to use a different browser, because the same browser, if you try to use the same browser to answer the questions, the browser will recognize that you've already answered the survey, so it won't let you. So I was only able to answer it 4 times. But that's enough to give us some data to learn how to analyze and read the data. So how likely are you to complete this survey? You've got green for very likely and blue for likely. And if you hover over the green or the blue, it tells you that 75% of people, or 3 respondents, clicked very likely, while 25% or 1 respondent clicked likely. You can also customize them in order to read them in a different way. So you can read the data in a different way if you choose. And then you would just click on Save. And then you can also click on Save As. You can add it to your dashboard from here, or you can export the file, which again, unfortunately, is a paid feature. So we wouldn't, because I have the basic version, not be able to export it. So then if you scroll down, it gives you the answer choices, and then it gives you the responses, again, in a different way. And it does this for each question. So what is your favorite type of ice cream? So only 3 answered, 1 skipped. So it'll also tell you if someone skips. Again, 2 respondents answered chocolate, and 1 answered strawberry. And again, you have your answer choices here, along with another way to read the responses. And then you also, so you technically have 1 person that skipped it, but because this question also allowed you to choose other and type in an answer, when you do that, you'll see that you get a comment. So you just click on the comment, and it'll show that then you had 1 respondent type moose tracks as their answer. And then it also gives you the date and time that they did this. So just note that if you have a question where you give them an answer option to type something in, this is how it will look when you go to view the data. And that's how SurveyMonkey will show it, is that you have 3 people that answered but 1 person that skipped, which they really didn't skip, they just chose the other option or chose to type in their answer. So then we have question 3, what is your ethnicity? Please select all that apply. And again, the more answer options you have, the more colors you'll have as well. So we've got 1 person who chose Asian or Pacific, 2 white/Caucasian, and then 1 preferred not to answer. And then again, we have all the answer choices with the responses down here. And again, you can customize each specific question to how you would like to display it in order to read the data. So then, how satisfied are you with your department leadership? We had 2 people say extremely satisfied, 1 say somewhat satisfied, and 1 say not so satisfied. And again, our answer choices and responses. And then that's just how, just kind of seeing the overall survey go. So how satisfied are you with the following: cost, delivery. This one's a little bit different because it doesn't tell you what the options were. It just says cost and delivery. So for this one, you have to scroll down and you see that green is satisfied, blue is somewhat satisfied, yellow is not satisfied, blue, this lighter blue, is no label, and then this salmon color is also no label. So for this, it's probably easier to scroll down and look and see cost versus the options, delivery versus the options, customer service versus the options, since the options aren't provided up here in the graph. So then what is your age? Again, we had two people respond 25 to 34 and 2 respond 35 to 44. And again, we have our answer choices down here. So this is how you would view just kind of the overall question summaries. So then the next way to analyze and read the data is through data trends. So data trends allow you to see responses by date and time. So it tells you that the first response was 2/8 and was 2/8/19 at 11 a.m. between 10 and 11 a.m. So you'll see here you had 4 responses at 10 a.m. on 2/8/2019. So this is just another way. And again, you can change the chart type. You can also change the trend by if we had, if this spanned over more than just days and hours. You could change this as well. And then you can also zoom. Do you want it 24 hours? So this is just another way to read the data. And again, it's kind of all the same because I was the one that answered the survey questions, so I answered them all at once. And again, it'll also show you if there's more than one option. So again, very likely you got 3 responses at 10 a.m. and then you got 1 response for likely at 10 a.m. on 2/8 as well. And again, here you also have display options for this question type, which access to percentage. And again, we've got our 3 answer choices. So 2 people chose chocolate at 10 a.m. 1 person chose strawberry. Now you'll notice with this one, because there was also an other option, it's not seen here. So you're only going to see that on the overall summary. You won't see it on the data trends. So then what is your ethnicity? We've got 1 person responded blue, which is Asian or Pacific Islander. We have 2 that responded white or Caucasian, and then we had 1 that responded prefer not to say. So it's just kind of the same for the rest of the questions, that you can then also look and analyze the data by date and time as well. So then the last way that we can read and analyze the data is through individual responses. So this is kind of nice because this will actually take you through each respondent's survey and how they answered it. So for example, respondent 4, it also gives you the collector, it gives you what time they started, what time they last modified, how much time was spent, and then it also gives their IP address, which again, because I'm the one that completed this survey as a sample, the IP address would be, I believe, the same. So it just kind of shows you that, you know, this respondent answered the first question as very likely, the second as strawberry, the third as Asian or Pacific Islander, the fourth as extremely satisfied, the fifth as satisfied, somewhat satisfied, and not satisfied, and then answered the age question as being between 35 and 44 years of age. So this is also another way that you can look at the data. And then if you click respondent, you can click 1 or type in 1 and then hit go, and it takes you to the first respondent survey as well. So then a few features, obviously again here is where you can export, but that's a paid feature. But here we also have rules. So you can filter the data in order to compare it. So first, if you click on filter, you can filter by question and answer, by collector, by completeness, time period, respondent metadata, custom variable, or filter by A/B test. Then you can also compare. You can cross-tabulate your data, compare by question and answer, compare by an A/B test. And then you also have show only one page, or show only, specific questions. So you can also filter your data in order to compare and contrast specific data. So then the last little feature that I'm going to show you is then presenting your results, which is a newer feature to SurveyMonkey. So again, you can showcase your results on your dashboard to tell a story with your data. So we'll go ahead and we'll click see an example. So this is what your dashboard would look like if you chose to do this, which is just, again, another way to kind of show the data. If you were going to present it, but we're not able to export it. So this is kind of like SurveyMonkey's way of kind of making up for the fact that you cannot export your data if you have the basic feature. So if you were going to present this, you would want to add this to your dashboard in order to present it that way. So this is just a short video on how to read and analyze the data in SurveyMonkey.